Hello everyone, welcome once again to this new video. And in this video, we look at loops in Scratch, and specifically we look at repeat and forever blocks. This is under the control blocks. We have the forever. This is the forever block, and this is the repeat block up here. So this is we look at how they work, how these kind of blocks work together. So have you imagined if you had to tell a character to move forward 10 times or by writing the same instruction again and again, but that will be very tiring. But now in this case, in programming, we solve this using something called loops, which I've said. And in this lesson, what we are focusing is what I've mentioned, the two important uh, blocks for this particular lesson. But the question is that, what is a loop? Even before we go to this, what is a loop? And I can say that a loop is a programming structure that repeat instructions automatically. So instead of you writing the same code many times, we use loops in place, the instruction inside that particular loop, whereby it will repeat based on the number of times that you need. So let's look at an example. For example, if I want to make, for example, this particular sprite of mine move 10 steps and then wait for 2 seconds. So let's say under motion, I want to make it move 10 steps. So move 10 steps. So if I click on it, it moves 10 steps. But let's say I want it to move 10 steps and then wait for 1 second, then it continue to move another 10 steps. I know it can be easy if I just say move 40 steps. Okay, all right. But let's see. So then as it move 10 steps and wait for 1 second, then it also move for another 10 steps. If I click the entire code, look at how it works. Wait for 1 second. Let me make it around 2 seconds so you're able to see the difference. 2 seconds. And let me click. Look at the block. It move. Wait for 2 seconds and then move. Okay. Then maybe I want it to move and move and move. So let's say wait again. So I will put again wait. That is wait for 2 seconds. And then under motion, you see again move like this. So all what we are doing is kind of a repeated task, repetitive task, repetitive task. It's like we are doing the same thing over and over and over. But what is the major thing? What is one of the things that we can use to make our work easier and even make our code much cleaner? As you can see, the more the number of times that I want it to repeat, that means that the more the number of blocks that I can get. For example, let me add another one more here. And then you see that I also put 2 seconds. So you see, move 10 steps, wait for 2 seconds, move 10 steps, wait for 2 seconds, move 10 steps, wait for 2 seconds. This is how many times? 3 is 3 times. So there's a different way you can be able to do in loops, which I can say in this case, loops in this case will save us time and makes our program even much cleaner. Let's look at this. Let's wait and see. Let's click on this block and see how it works. Wait, move, wait, move, wait, move. Supposed to move. I think it just finished. Let me repeat again. Move, wait, move, wait, move, wait. That is it. That is 3 times. So as you can see, instead of having all this block of code, let me show you how we can be able to and just have a repeat here and say I want it to repeat 3 times. So 3 times. Then I can just remove all these others and just have only the 2 blocks here, like this. So look at this. If I click on this block, what happened? Wait, block, move, wait, move, wait, move. So what has happened is that in this block, it has repeated how many times? 3 times. Move, wait, move, wait, move, wait, move, wait. So what is happening is that it is a repeated kind of task. If I say I want it to repeat 5 times, but now in this case I say wait for 1 second. Look at what's happening. Let me stop first so that I can begin. So look at it. If I look at here, it will be changing 5 times. This one is 50. At least this one will help us to be able to change the difference. This is 50. So I expect to change it 5 times. So I want to focus here. So click on the not green flag because I have not put event. Okay, let me just put under events and click this one. This one. So in the green flag, let's click the green flag. Look at 50 here. Not, I'm sorry, it is this one, not 50. It is this one, not the 50. Sorry, let me repeat again. So this is at 153. It is at 153. So expect to move 10, 10, 10, 10, reduce by 10, 10, 10. So instead of 153, 143, 143, 133, click on the green flag. 143, 133, 123, 113, 103. So it has made how many? 10, 5 of them. So 5 times 10 50. So it has reduced by 50. So again, let's click on the green flag. We expect to reduce by another 50, which is supposed to be 83. As it move, make some steps. Look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what's happening is that move 10 steps, wait for 1 second. Move 10 steps, wait for 1 second. Move 10 steps, wait for 1 second. So that is what is happening. As you can see, if you compare this code and the code that I could be having here, in this case, by the way, what happens is that this means that I could be having 5 of them. So like for now, I have 2. I could be having 5 of them so that to ensure that this one works as expected 5 times. But instead of having that one, we use the repeat block and the repeat block, which help us to be able to avoid all those long codes. So we have talked about the repeat block. Let's see. Let's move to this other called it's another one called forever. But before I go about forever, so the repeat block runs the instruction inside in a specific number of times, which I've said. If we say repeat 5 times, if we say repeat 7 times, it will repeat 7 times. So it will go 7 times. But let's see the next one. Let's see the next one. In this case, we'll use the other block called, which is called forever block. Which is called forever block. I will explain something small later. So the forever block, I think there's something we had created, but I think we can also create on the repeat block before we move to the forever block, because I feel like there's something I need to show you how it works. There's something we had talked about earlier, like making it to move 10. Let's make it move 10 steps. Not 10 steps. Let's use the glide so that at least it's making a smooth move. So when they say move, I just go to motion and then I say glide. Glide. Remember I said in the previous video, glide is helping us to move to a particular place slowly. So for example, in this case, let me begin at where it is. Where it is negative 43 on the x-axis and 108 on the y-axis, that is up and down. So let me duplicate this block so that I have 2 of them. So now I have 2 of them. Again, allow me to duplicate again. So let me duplicate this block. So I have 4 of them like this. So I will maintain for where it is at x43 108 y, that is at the top. So I will not change y because I want it to move to the right, then to the bottom, then to the left, then to the top. So I don't want to change that one. That one I just want it to remain. So I will not change the first and the second block. So let me separate this one. The first and second block, the y is not changing, but x is changing. So I want to go around 100. So I will say here negative 143. Yes. Then when it's going down, I just have this one to be negative 143. That means that it should be on this other side here. And then 108 is still remaining. Now, y will not be 108, but instead, let's have it go 100 down. So it will be 2, sorry, it's 108 positive, so we minus 100, so that mean will be 0.8 instead of 1. We reduce by 100, so that means that go downwards 100 steps. So here again we want to go again to the left side, so negative 43, and here we maintain this one at 0.8. So this is at the bottom. So at the bottom at 0.8 here, at 0.8 here, but the x is negative 143 and 43. So different of 100 and let's join them together and see how our code look like. But now in this case, I want it to repeat how many times? To do the same and repeat, let's say 3 times. Let's move and see. Let me join with this one. Look at what happened. It begins there. See what's happening? Yes. Sorry, I think I gave you the wrong thing also. Here it's not be negative 143. It's going to the positive side. I want it to go to the positive side. So this one will be at negative 100. And this one will be at negative 100. Let's see how it happens. Let me join them. Again, let's click the green flag. It moved to where it's supposed to go. You see, it's making a square. It's making a square. It's moving in a particular. Let's say I want it to wait for 2 seconds in each to go slowly. 2 seconds. Again, so let me click the green flag. Go there. Move there. Down. Yes. So that is it. So this we are using the repeat. Let me stop. And I go now to the next one, which is the forever block. So in the forever block or the forever loop, in this case, I will, unlike the repeat, in this case, the forever loop never stops. This one stops after 3 times, after 4 times, based on the number of times you have given. But the forever block never stops. It keeps running until the program is stopped. So let's see how it works. Let's see how it works. For example, let's say instead of using 3, let me just remove this one. I take it back, control, and I use forever. Then I put this one here. Look at what's happening. If I click on green flag, it will never stop. It will just continuously doing that, continuously doing that, continuously doing that. It will not stop. It will continuously do that, meaning it's not changing at all. It's not stopping. So that is what we call a forever block. So forever block, it never stops. This, but the repeat block, it stops at some point based on the number of times that you give it to move. So this the sprite keep moving forever until we stop the program. So now in this case, if I click on stop, now it stopped. That's the only option that can make this particular sprite of ours to stop from moving. So when can we use the repeat block and when can you use the forever block? This is what I can say. It depends on the purpose of why we are using each of them. We can use repeat block when we want to run the code on a specific number of times. We want to run a block how many times? 5 times? Yes, we can use repeat block. But if we want to run the block continuously without stopping, then we can use forever block. Let me give you an example where we can be able to use repeat block and forever block. Let me give you a real life scenario. We have drawing shapes, whereby, for example, you have drawn a square, playing animation on certain number of times. That is used the repeat block. But what about forever? We can use it when we talk about game control, character movement, background animation. Those are the ones that we're able to use. So at that point, I think I'll be able to explain the difference between the forever block and the repeat block. And you have seen the difference even on the practice and how they work. So in that case, what I can say is that I will give you a challenge to give a try. Remember in the previous video, I gave you a challenge to try. That is how to make the sprite move in a triangular shape. So now in this case, I want you to create a program where the sprite is spinning forever. I want it to spin, 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 spin. How do you make it spin forever? How do you make it form round, 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 round forever? How do you make it? Give a try. If you manage that one, just screenshot your code and paste on the comment section. Thank you so much. And what I will say, I will just wrap up what we have done in this lesson and say that we have explored the repeat loop, and which you have said that it runs the instruction a certain number of times, and forever loop, which runs the code in continuously. So loops are the most important ideas in programming and are used in almost every game and animations. We use loops more often, and you will even in your case, as you explore more on this Scratch, you're able to see that there's a lot of things you can do with this. So in the next lesson, we learn how events in Scratch to control sprite using the keyboard and mouse. So I think that point I can say thank you so much for following up to this point. You are so amazing. We are blessed. We are so happy to have you here, and we look forward to having you again in the next video. Do us a quick favor. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on that notification bell that you'll be notified when we upload our next video. That is it. Bye bye. See you next time. Enjoy.